But the thing is, what you need to understand too is you have to have open communication, because if you like hold it in, you slowly resent them until the argument comes and you're like, here's my list of things I've been waiting on.
Yeah, they'll feel the table too.
Right January 26th at 6 p.m.
1993.
You said, get your socks off the floor. And I was like, bruh, look at your car. But I didn't say that. I let it go.
Why does it sound like it's like a real event?
Yeah, it's really personal, bruh.
Happy Valentine's Day.
This episode is about why no one loves you.
And what you can do to change yourself, because you're the problem.
Clearly, like, if you want our advice.
Today we have two special guests, Mr. Valentine and Miss McCormack, our beloved, not anymore teacher.
Yeah, our teachers from last year.
Yes. So we're going to do a little interview so you can get to know them a little bit. So let's start off with Mr. Valentine. So,
oh, jeez. All right.
How old are you? What is your date of birth?
Oh, no. What's your social security number, credit card, last 4 digits?
Yeah, and read out your birth certificate.
Yeah. Please.
Okay, JK.
Okay, so we have questions, just a quick assessment of your personality, and this will determine our viewers' point of view at you, you know? We're interviewing you because we've heard from a birdie that you've been married. And we clearly have not. So 16-year-olds are not going to give love advice. And anyways, so what's your name? What's your partner's name? How long have you been married for? Okay,
wait, go slowly.
Girl, that's 4. You got it.
I mean, if you want it. My boo thing, you know,
okay,
she's like
go ahead.
2 years younger than me, because you already know, you know.
I don't already know, but okay. So how long have you guys been married?
Me and my boo thing, you know, we've been, you know, shacked up, locked down, you know, been doing our domestic life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
About 7 years, right? My son's about 6, so 7 years we've been married. Me and my boo thing.
All right.
All right.
Miss McCormack, I heard it was an anniversary. Want to tell us how long of an anniversary?
Absolutely. So my husband's name's Mike, and we have been together since 1993.
Dang.
Wait, so
I'm going to let you know.
Years.
You were married before I was 2 years old, Miss McCormack.
No, I wasn't married. That was when we started dating in 1993. But we celebrated our 25th anniversary in January. So it's been 25 years.
Hey.
That's such a quick cutoff. That's such a long time to be like with one person. Well, I mean, obviously you like him.
It is, but we like laugh and talk about it. And I think the most important thing when you're deciding, you know, who to spend time with is the real thing you should be looking for is who can you not stand to be without.
Aww.
That's really the question. Like spending time with people is fine, but who is your life worse without?
Right.
Yeah.
We've already heard Mr. Valentine's like how he got with his boo thing. What's up? Who dis?
Who dis?
And if you want to know that one, you should have listened to our Valentine and Schubert episode.
Most viewed episode.
Most viewed episodes so far.
Best
If
guess.
you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Yeah,
and
you should
you're
watch it.
encouraged to nicely.
No, you should have already. That should have been done. But you can listen to that after this one. And Miss McCormack, I just want to know, who did you intend getting married? Like, who did you want to get married to? And how did you meet your husband?
Okay, so when I went to college, I wasn't actually going to get married or really date because I had plans to move to Chicago or New York and be a journalist. So I was a news page editor for the college that I was at, and I had been offered an internship in Chicago, and it was amazing and exciting until I was working every night until 3 a.m. editing papers, and I just like looked up at 3 a.m. and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want this to be like the rest of my life. So that was when I was first dating Mike, but I didn't make that decision because of him, because he would have been cool with that. So we met my sophomore year of college, and y'all, it was positively like the dorkiest, sweetest thing ever. We were pledging fraternities and sororities at our school, and Mike was on the football intramural team, and he needed a date to go cheer to cheer the team on. So
I volunteer.
I volunteer tribute.
So I had been at a party with him the night before, but I went to Abilene Christian, so let me clarify. It was a Diet Coke and spades party. For real.
Yeah,
I swear we played spades. So I met him there, and then we ran into each other in the only cafeteria on our campus. Y'all, it sounds 1950s, I swear. We ran into each other at campus, and he said, hey, I have to go to this intramural football game. I'm playing. Will you come? I have to have a date to meet the fraternity requirements. Will you come? So I was like, okay, yeah, like that sounds fun. And then I was just thinking, I wasn't thinking it was going to be anything serious because it was just an intramural football game. And then after we didn't get to talk because he was playing, and so he invited me to Whataburger.
Whataburger.
So Texan.
What was the order?
He was like, I feel bad because I didn't get to know you or talk to you. Can I take you to Whataburger? So I was like, yes. So he got a strawberry milkshake and I got a Diet Coke, and we just talked, and I was like, oh, I really like him. Like, he was the nicest guy I ever met. And so I was like, well, yeah. Well, now I know I'm in love with him. I'm just kidding. Up until that point, I had, he was just so nice and so smart. And we were talking, and I realized he was smart, and I'm not as smart.
I realized he was smart and not just a frat boy.
Yeah, not just a job.
So I knew when he wouldn't tell me his GPA. Like, I was like, what's your GPA? And he was like, I really don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, either he's a complete loser or he's super smart. So I knew from talking to him, because I knew that. Then I was like, what is it? And he was like, I'm afraid you'll think I'm a nerd, but it was a 4.0 in accounting. And so I was like, that's good. So we just started spending time together, and I don't know. Over time, I just realized that the thought of my future without him in it just looked sad. And I'd never felt that way before.
And broke, because he's an accountant.
I was going to be all about the broke life, because journalism doesn't exactly pay a lot.
Right, like New York.
Yeah,
New York is definitely about the broke life.
Yes.
That rent.
Yeah.
That's something different.
I mean, best pizza, right?
Hey, $1. I remember last year you told me that you wanted to date like a wrestler or a boxer, and then she married an accountant.
We can talk about this, yes, because I grew up in Paradise, Texas. Mr. Valentine always makes fun of me.
Paradise.
And
Texas.
you guys, I did have the worst accent. Like, I was like, hey, y'all, how's it going? My cow won't move. I showed a cow. And back then, wrestling was really big in Texas. Mm-hmm. And so we would go to Decatur.
Oh, my gosh.
Matches. So I didn't even actually want to marry a wrestler. I just wanted to be a wrestler's girlfriend. Which is...
Is that the equivalent of being like a baseball girlfriend?
Yes.
Oh,
but it's so bad because I didn't even want to wrestle myself. I was just like, I just wanted to like...
It's so cool.
Have the big blonde hair and walk around all sassy. So that was my goal. And then after dating several guys that were like that, I thought I would never get married. I was like, they're not very... It's not super fun. So not even like the high school wrestling like Mr. Valentine did, because that actually takes like intelligence and strategy.
Okay, I was about to say, it's like
you sure about the
calling it
intelligence
down.
No, it's not about that. It was about the TV ones like John Cena or
oh my god
or The Rock.
That makes sense.
Yes, I went from that being my goal, not to marry a wrestler, but to be a wrestler's girlfriend.
Just a girlfriend, not the marriage.
To marrying an accountant at the age of 22. So what changed? I think just the right guy. Like,
right.
Really, the right guy can make the biggest changes.
Apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a fairy tale. And then there's like Mr. Valentine. Who did?
I mean...
Yours is pretty sweet, too.
Yeah,
I think so
makes me
like,
look so lame. It makes me look so lame.
Valentine's is very like, how do I say, like modernized, like technology's new.
Yeah,
millennial.
Like, you guys called me all last year. Millennial.
Yeah, and that's very like, let me take like opening the doors, getting you flowers, and then it's like, who this?
It's like different generations.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, I have a question for the two of you. Do you know what a love language is? Like the 5 love languages are?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Valentine did not
Valentine?
look like he knew what they
You
were.
look a little confused.
I'm not going to cap and say that I know that.
Like,
Okay, What do you think your love language
Well, he
is?
doesn't know what they... So words
oh, wait, you said
words
you don't
of
know? Or were you
affirmation...
just...
No, he didn't know.
I just
Words of
didn't know.
affirmations, like being like, oh, I'm proud of you, or like saying the L word.
It's words of
Yeah, I know, but I'm giving him example. Quality time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Going on a
like
little
quality,
date.
It's the
yeah,
soccer
quality
match, just let him
time
go.
is spending time together, like no distractions and blah blah blah. Acts of service. I think this one's like if I were to be like, Amelia, hand me that chocolate, and then she were to give it, or like go out of her way to do something for you. Gift giving gifts, you know. And then physical touch is like, it doesn't have to be like a hug or un bujinho. It can just be like holding each other's pinkies next to each other, like you appreciate their touch, you appreciate giving, receiving.
I got you now.
Kisses.
I'll let J-Mac go.
I meant kiss.
What are you talking about? I'm a high school teacher. I do not kiss my wife.
No.
We give each other fist bumps and go on our way.
2 kids, no kisses.
Like, good game, Pats. Good game. See you tomorrow.
I love you, pat pat. But yeah, do you
so
know?
what do you think yours is?
So mine would be quality time. I really like that, especially because his job is very busy. So he will try to come home early, but very often it will be 6:30 or 7. And then sometimes when he comes home, he's answering emails. He usually works on the weekends. So anytime that he puts down his phone and we watch like a Witcher or hang out, yes. Or even like go for a walk in the neighborhood, that is my favorite, because I know that's hard for him because he doesn't really value it. That's not his love language. So no, I mean he likes other things. Like he would probably like acts of service or something like that. So I guess that's important, right? When you commit to be in a relationship with someone, you have to know what their love language is. Even if it's not yours, you have to be willing to adapt your life to that. So
Right.
Like to communicate with them and like make sure you know theirs and they know yours.
Yes, yeah, for sure, and talk about what's important. And so,
Right.
and he might try quality time. He does gifts really good. He's always like, "What do you want?" But I'm always like, I just want time. Like, let's just go for a walk.
That's so sweet, though.
Or go to a wrestling match.
I just want you to become a wrestler.
Can't you go to the gym? Thanks.
What about you, Mr. Valentine?
I don't know if you know, but I'm not the most affectionate person
Wait,
from being my students.
are you being for real?
They're his love language. Put them in a headlock and
Like, love you, bro. No, I guess mine is more like acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty busy. If you guys don't know, I don't know if you guys know that. But.
No way.
So generally, like, I'm not so much the affectionate or like spending time person, because like my time is very limited, but I do try to do like a lot of acts of service or like do stuff where I know I talked to Raina about, like, I know specifically things that my wife likes, like on days she's having like a rough day at work. So I know like she likes certain like root beer Coke floats with, you know, extra cherries in her Sonic drinks, or like special fries from Brahms. So I got to go like 5 different places to, you know, like get her like choice comfort meals. Or, you know, she always gave me the story like, oh, I'm allergic to silver, so I know if you're cheap if you get me jewelry. So it's always white gold everything. But I do spend an inordinate amount of cash on her during gifts, because that's just like how I show my appreciation. Because it's like
material girl.
Because my time is very valuable, so it's like I spent this much time working to get this. This is what it means to me, because I'm using the time that I don't have with you to get you something for it. So that's generally my type of acts of service, because I see it in times that we both cherish valuable. So like when I give it something, like I mean to give it to you because of how hard I work to get it.
Right.
so like also kind of like gift giving and like
Yeah.
it's like has like meaning.
Yeah, gift giving. Yeah, because I'm really big on like uses of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm never gonna use it, I find it to be like a pointless gift.
Give me the cash.
No, because I feel that. Like
Yeah.
that's when I would rather like have a gift card if you don't know what I like.
Give me the $20.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So how did you guys like know that you were ready for a relationship? Did it take like you know? Like,
I don't think you ever know if you're ready for a relationship.
No, did it ever like you just ever like a relationship not work out because like you realized that, oh, I need to like take a moment and focus on myself and like truly love myself before putting in this effort for someone else?
I mean, yeah, I would say my freshman year of college, I had a long distance relationship that, spoiler alert, did not end well. And it, just knowing that was probably because I put too much hope into something instead of looking in myself for what I needed to complete college and to be the person I wanted to be. I had looked to that, and it was a bad way to find out who you are if you're trying to mask yourself into someone else. So I spent that whole summer between my freshman and sophomore year, just focusing on myself and exercise and just in reading books and spending time with my family. And I didn't think about it because I didn't think I was ready for a relationship when I went back to college, but that's when I met Mike, whenever I was most happy with myself.
Right.
Yeah. See, it's like a reward.
You're like, your cup is full, overflowing with love, and you can like give it,
Yeah, and he took a little sip.
You're like water falling into his cup.
That is a really
little
weird
mug.
Really
no,
weird
but like
metaphor.
if you really think about it. Anyways,
it's so overflowing that I kind of waterfall it into. Like if you're not ready, I am. We're gonna be ready together.
Yeah. Now you're ready. You have to.
Clearly, Mike wasn't invited to this podcast.
What do you think is like the number one thing that you should like prioritize when treating your partner right?
My wife makes more money than I do, so I go by the song. Can you pay my telephone bills? Can you pay my automobiles? Maybe we can chill. I don't think you do, so me and you are through.
Oh my God. Yeah, dang.
Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry. What was the question?
How do you treat your partner?
Your wife right?
How do you make sure your wife stays your wife?
I mean, the question is, how do I make sure that I stay her husband?
Yeah,
I think so.
After hearing that.
not say things like that. I guess can we cut that one out? If she listens to this, I don't know if I have a wife when I get home. Boo thing is no thing when I get home.
It's gone.
She's like, I think you would like write her a really bad song. I think that's the best you could do.
Okay.
Oh no, she's heard me say bars in the car. She hates it.
Oh,
She's
okay,
like,
so
you're
rap.
walking.
Okay.
You're walking.
Yeah.
She stops the car. No, she doesn't listen to any songs anymore because I ruin them. Because I say everything in a falsetto voice when I get really irritated with the same song. I'm coming down. I'm going to burn.
We're gonna get copyrighted.
And I sing it really loud in the car where she has to like put her ear down. I was like, what?
God.
Don't you love me through thick and thin?
Really
We said vows.
Not anymore.
I was like, pull that finger out your ear right now and listen to me.
Sounds like how you show your love is that you pester someone.
She's gonna pull another hootie.
See, I treat my wife as if we're first graders again. I just irritate her until she loves me.
That's kind of adorable, though. On a serious note, finally. No, I'm just kidding. But I have to look from their point of view about situations, like just in general.
Situations or stipulations? Can you speak up, please?
Situations, okay. Like, to look from their point of view, make sure to take in consideration their feeling. What's it called? Also, like, setting proper boundaries so you don't overstep them when it's too late, you know?
And
any thoughts?
Speaking of boundaries, like, I don't know, communicating like consent with them, because consent is important. Like,
yeah, period.
You know,
Don't give us that stinky face.
Is it okay, like, if I hold your hand or like,
yeah,
you know?
Yes.
Off the record, there's some bad stuff that happens like in high school, and like
people not understanding that no means no, like the first time you say no.
Right.
So I think this is a cool way to talk about consent, because I just read like Slate.com has
Slate.
like
Oh
it has
gosh.
like things you can like write in, and this one person wrote in, and she was at her wedding, and she had told her fiance that she did not want cake smeared in her face. Like, that was the one thing, like, she did not want that. That was really important to her. She communicated it very clearly.
Right.
And then that's exactly what happened. He, like, not only didn't smear cake in her face, but he shoved her face in the cake. So she was getting a divorce because she was like, If you communicate something clearly to someone and they do not respect your boundaries, especially on the day that you're confessing your love to each other, like after I thought about it, then I feel like that could really be a metaphor for everything that you guys are talking about.
If it's something as simple as cake and they cannot respect your boundary of that, then when you go into like bigger situations, more important stuff, how can you trust that they're gonna like stay in line? Okay, and then lastly, I just want to say, like, know when to leave a partner, because I feel like, especially when we were in high school, beginning college, like, Mr. Valentine and Mrs. McCormack didn't find, like, their one, like, their soulmate, you know, whatever you want to call it, till they were, like, what?
They're boothing.
They're boothing till what year in college? What year in college did you meet them?
Oh, you don't know?
You don't know? You don't. Let me call you a boo thing right now and tell her this. You don't know the exact date that you met her.
I think junior. I was a research assistant, so I definitely wasn't a freshman or sophomore.
So junior and sophomore year, like it took you like all of high school of dating. Like I'm sure, like you've had girlfriends. Well, yeah, I've heard them. I've heard the stories. I've heard the inklings. Well, I just know Mr. Valentine because I accidentally might have interviewed him beforehand. But we don't need to talk about that. Ooh. Anyways, so know when to leave whenever your partner isn't treating you right. Like they're lacking everything that we said before, and or like a cheater. You know, like why would you want to be with someone who doesn't like want to be with you? And then obviously like, and wait, am I allowed to say abused? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, then an abuser. Why are you rolling your eyes?
I mean, I feel like in high school.
So then, like,
it's so important to say the words
exactly.
To take away the shame that somebody might be feeling if they are in a situation like that. So thank you for the courage to talk about that. That's really important.
Exactly, and so like. If you're getting cheated on, abused, manipulated, girl, we don't like those gaslighters.
Gaslighting.
But the Dallas has a domestic. the Dallas has a domestic abuse hotline at 800-252-5400, and then or just a general domestic abuse hotline 800-799-SAFE. Or instead of safe, you could put 7233. I honestly I get so confused when finding the name.
And let me say, Safe Haven it's in Tarrant County, and it is the most amazing thing. That's been a very special place for Mike and I. That's a place I like to support. So Safe Haven offers help too.
That's nice.
Regardless of the outlet you choose, definitely don't be afraid to reach out for help, because the hardest step is the first step.
Right.
So just make sure to reach out, call those numbers, go to Safe Haven, find the person that you feel most comfortable with that can help you do it, because, you know, you have that special person like Raina or Amelia. I know that you guys would go to each other. You definitely have to, you know, maybe voice these concerns with someone else that has an outward perception on what's happening, because you may think it's normal, but it more or less may not be normal with someone else. So you got to make sure you take those steps and have that person or that confidant to talk to.
Right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need a friend to be like, hey, that's not how you should be treating. Like, know you or treated. Mm-hmm. Know your worth. They should be doing better. You need a
kind of like a support. Like they'll like help support you, but like help you take the next step.
Yeah.
I think it's really important too. I know you said treating it as a mistake, but it's true. Like, I hope that guys and girls in relationships would have the courage to say that, why are you treating that person that way?
Right.
Like, it's good if we can check ourselves.
Right.
Before you wreck yourself. Sorry, that's probably so inappropriate, but I was just like, I've watched a lot of Ali G as a kid. And I was like, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
She gave a look and asked like,
no, she lobbed it to me. She knew I was going to go for it. She knew I was.
I was like, yes, you know that is a player.
Oh, God.
He was proud of that joke, too.
Well, the thing is, what you need to understand, too, is you have to have open communication. Because if you, like, hold it in, you slowly resent them until the argument comes and you're like, here's my list of things I've been waiting on.
Yeah, they'll fill the table, too.
Right
January 26th at 6 p.m.
1993.
You said, get your socks off the floor. And I was like, bruh, look at your car. But I didn't say that. I let it go.
Why does it sound like it's like a real event?
Yeah, it's really personal, bruh. Let's hope she doesn't listen to this episode.
So do not make a laundry list of things. If you're feeling irritated, it's best if you have the open communication when it happens and be like, hey, can I like really like, let's be honest real quick. You irritated me a little bit with that. Instead of, because I'm telling you, when you hold it in, you're going to be resentful. And I promise you, I know some of you early on, you will come with the notebook of complaints on what happened.
I don't feel like there should be like right or wrongs in a relationship. There should be like a compromise, you know? Like one person can't always be right. Because then that makes the other person be like, if you believe in one thing, you believe in the other. So one person's right, the other person's wrong, you know?
Who told you that?
A podcast? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Mr. Valentine told me about the compromise. The great compromise.
I was actually
enough.
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
So about compromise, I think some of the best advice I ever heard about being married and staying married is that it's not always 50-50.
Right.
There's no compromise. Sometimes it's 100-0.
Yeah.
Like that really stinks, but sometimes that's just what it is, and other times it might be like 70-30. But as long as you know the other person is worth it, right? Going to pick up, you know, it will even out in the end. I think that's true of friendships too. Like it can't always be 50-50. It'd be great if it was, but that's not that's not what it looks like.
There are moments where you're like not wrong, but need correcting in a sense. Like how we were talking about boundaries. If they disrespect your boundaries, like that's something where they were in the wrong. Like know your worth, hold yourself to that standard, and don't settle for someone who's consistently not upholding you to that, you know?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah, and that's all we need you guys for. If you want to stay for the last bit, I'll just say
you can, but you don't.
But it's...
No, I got to coach jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
You coach jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I've been doing jiu-jitsu since last year.
Oh, I thought like...
I am continually proud.
I do.
They're
I
my
do
babies
both.
From last
Both?
year.
Yeah, I got to coach my little kid right now in like 11 minutes.
Thank you, Mr.
nice.
McCormack.
I love it.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was a pleasure. Hopefully you learned something.
Oh, yeah, I learned so much.
I learned something, and I've been married 25 years.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. I hope this episode helps you, and by next year you'll like actually go on a Valentine's Day with someone.
Or loving yourself.
Yeah, either way.
If you wanna find your boo thing, or if you wanna start to love yourself, your first step, that first most difficult step, is following Collegiate Cast on all social media
and Instagram, Collegiate Cast CA. So our little sponsor is Lorena's Red Wagon, which is a nonprofit that helps prevent domestic abuse and families that have just went through that. You can go donate to them. We'll link the website. And they do this through family-oriented activities. Like, they'll go to shelters, ask what they need, and then they'll provide it with the money that's donated.
They don't
the
have
whole point of Lorena's Red Wagon, Lorena Bobbitt's face. Girl, I cannot say her last name. She went through, like, domestic abuse. You can research about that. But she understood more than anyone that there's cases where you just cannot, you cannot pack. You know, you cannot get ready. There's just a time you could leave, and you leave. So this nonprofit helps give back to the families that went through that. But yeah, anyways, love you and love yourself.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh yeah. Wait, should we say like Happy Valentine's Day again?
Okay. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
Wait, an ASMR of me eating chocolate. No, I'm just playing.